One Christmas Eve, many years ago, two children named Clara and Fred came quietly creeping down the stairs and took turns peeking through the keyhole in the big hallway door. They were trying hard not to giggle as they looked into the living room. They kept putting their hands over their mouths, but somehow the giggles kept on slipping right through their fingers. For there, to their delight, they could see their papa and mama and funny old Uncle Drosselmeyer trimming the Christmas tree. Clara was so excited she could hardly keep from singing.
Look, look, look through the keyhole. Do you see what I see? Bonbons and sugar plums and dolls beneath the Christmas tree. Boys, toys, a drum and soldiers and a purple monkey. Oh, what a happy time, the trimming of the Christmas tree. I can hardly wait until I see the shining star on top. So, dear Lord, please, if you will, let Christmas never stop. Soon, soon it will be Christmas, gee, it will be jolly. Oh, how I love to see the trimming of the Christmas tree. I can hardly wait until I see the shining star on top. So, dear Lord, please, if you will, let Christmas never stop. Soon, soon it will be Christmas, gee, it will be jolly. Oh, how I love to see the trimming of the Christmas tree. I think it's the most beautiful tree I've ever seen in my whole life.
But it's so hard to see through the keyhole, Clara. I wish we could see more.
Suddenly, a silver bell tinkled, and the great sliding doors were opened. Fred and Clara, who had been leaning against the door, almost fell into the room. How everybody laughed! As the children looked around, they were so wide-eyed with wonder that they could hardly speak. For the familiar room had taken on a glow that seemed strange and new. 100 tiny candles shone like stars on the soft green tree. It was then that Papa said, "Well, since you are awake,
come see the wondrous toy from Uncle Drosselmeyer, all dressed in velvet trousers, scarlet boots, and cloak of fur.
Oh, look at him. He's the most wonderful nutcracker I've ever seen.
If you should lift his cloak, his mouth will pop wide open. Feed him a nut because he'll crack that nut between his jaws.
He's so handsome, funny, and clever. I will keep him forever. Stop! Don't you dare go near him, you will hurt him, Fred. For that nut you've got will never fit inside his head.
But Clara's fears were of no avail. Just then, Fred forced a big black walnut into the poor Nutcracker's mouth. Well, naturally, such a nut was much too large. Crunch! Out tumbled two of the Nutcracker's teeth. Clara was so upset, she began to cry.
Nutcracker is hurt. Fred, how could you be so mean?
Oh, who cares? He's just a silly old nutcracker anyway. Who wants to play with him? I'd rather play with drums and soldiers.
But I think he's the most beautiful nutcracker that ever was.
Don't cry, Clara. We will fix him just as good as new.
But he's hurt and sick, Papa. What shall we do? I know. I will put him in my little doll bed and nurse him until he is all well again.
Then Clara put the injured Nutcracker in the little doll's bed under the Christmas tree and tied her ribbon around his jaw. As she tucked him in, she whispered, "Sleep well, dear Nutcracker, sleep well." Then Papa and Mama and Uncle Drosselmayer opened all the Christmas presents. The carols were sung, and before they knew it, it was time for the children to go to bed. That night, as Clara fell asleep, she was thinking about her little Nutcracker. Long after midnight, she tiptoed down the stairs to see how her Nutcracker was feeling. As she peeped into the living room, what a sight met her eyes. The toys had all come to life.
Dogs followed by cats and kangaroos, all marching along in step by twos. A tiger and a teddy bear, a zebra and a horse were there. A stranger sight, that magic night, the toys had come to life. Up suddenly popped Jack in the box. He fell into step beside the fox. The mighty lion swung his tail, the hungry wolf began to wail. The sleeping fawns awoke with yawns, the toys had come to life. Left, right, and around the room, drums beating a bing, bang, boom. Barks howling, meows, a thunderous roar. Stuffed animal feet that shook the floor. The elephant made quite a clunk. He bumped the camel with his trunk. 'Twas such a sight, and quite a fright. The toys had come to life. Howling meows, a thunderous roar. Stuffed animal feet that shook the floor. The elephant made quite a clunk. He bumped the camel with his trunk. 'Twas such a sight, and quite a fright. The toys had come to life.
Clara rubbed her eyes. She could hardly believe it. She was so frightened that she couldn't move. Her feet felt as if she were frozen to the floor. Oh, it was terrible. All the stuffed animals began to eat the bonbons and sugar plums around the Christmas tree. Clara's doll was so upset that even she began to cry. Then, quick as a flash, like a miracle, the Nutcracker leaped out of bed.
Do not worry, I'll protect you. Heroes never do expect you to defend yourself. With an awful fear I'll fill them. With my soldiers I will kill them. Lay them back on the shelf.
Gathering all the toy soldiers around him in battle formation, the Nutcracker led a mighty charge against the fierce animals. The gingerbread men fired the cannon at the enemy, and the soldiers went rat-a-tat-tat with their guns. But the animals kept marching forward, slowly and steadily. Finally, the lion and the tiger seized the poor Nutcracker by his coat and caught his arms and held him fast. Clara thought the Nutcracker was so brave that she took off her slipper and threw it at the lion. Well, the slipper hit the lion squarely on the head and killed him. Then the Nutcracker, with his free arm, grabbed a sword from one of his soldiers and killed the tiger. Instantly, everything vanished, and the room was still. And miracle of miracles, the Nutcracker had changed into a handsome young prince. Bowing elegantly from the waist, he kissed Clara's hand.
I owe my life to you. Will you fly away with me to my magic kingdom on the mountain of sweetmeats?
Clara, of course, very happily said yes. Over rivers and mountains and forests they flew, until at last they came to the kingdom of the Nutcracker Prince, where the Sugar Plum Fairy ruled as queen. Lo and behold, as they set foot on the mountain, they could see candy and chocolates and peppermint sticks and cookies and ice cream and cake everywhere they looked. Everything looked so mouth-watering and tempting, but of course, Clara had very good manners, and she wouldn't dream of taking any candy or anything else until it was offered. But suddenly, in a blinding flash, the Sugar Plum Fairy stood beside them. She could see how much Clara and the Nutcracker Prince wanted to try some. With a merry twinkle in her eyes, she said,
"How'd you do? Oh, won't you try a sweet candy meat? It's good to eat. Make yourself at home. Try a pie, the candy's handy. Have a slice of this nice chocolate honeycomb. How'd you do? Oh, won't you be my guest? Try the best, creamiest ice cream ever made. Take a cake, what tasty pastry. Yum, 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 sample some cherry marmalade." How'd you do? Oh, won't you be my guest? Try the best, creamiest ice cream ever made. Take a cake, what tasty pastry. Yum, 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 sample some cherry marmalade.
Well, you can be sure that Clara and the Nutcracker Prince helped themselves to some of the wonderful things all around them. Then Clara and the Nutcracker Prince wandered hand in hand down the magic mountain and into the castle. As the Sugar Plum Fairy led them inside, all the doors of all the rooms in the castle suddenly flew open, and each room was a wonderland in itself, filled with all the treasures that make dreams glow and sparkle and then come true. And all along the hallway of the castle were great trays of even more candy and chocolates. In the farthest room, at the very end of the corridor, Clara and the Nutcracker Prince came upon the happiest and merriest Russian soldier. He was dressed in a bright red uniform with a blue sash and stomping, clomping, big black boots. Russian soldier saw Clara. He laughed with a ha-ha-ha!
Nothing ever bothers me. When I'm the least bit sad, I just dance. That can make anyone happy.
Then he clapped his hands 3 times, jumped up in the air, and began to dance.
Dance if you feel the least downhearted. Dance and you'll feel good once you've started. You'll ho, you'll he, you'll how with a yip and a yep full of pep as you step, step, step. Dance if you feel like trouble's coming. Dance, let your feet go lightly drumming. You turn with a flip, a flap, a clip, a clop, a clap, a tap, tap, tap. Happiness comes from dancing. Starts with a tickle in your feet. Hard though the step you're chancing, somehow the joy's complete. Dance if you feel the least downhearted. Dance and you'll feel good once you've started. You'll ho, you'll he, you'll how with a yep full of pep as you step, step, step. Happiness comes from dancing. Starts with a tickle in your feet. Hard though the step you're chancing, somehow the joy's complete. Dance if you feel the least downhearted. Dance and you'll feel good once you've started. You'll ho, you'll he, you'll how with a yip and a yep full of pep as you step, step, step.
When the Russian soldier had finished his wonderful whirling and twirling dance, he didn't seem the least bit tired.
I've never seen anyone dance with such vim and vigor.
Just then, from the next room came the sound of weeping. Clara couldn't understand how anyone could be sad in the wonderful castle of the Magic Kingdom.
I wonder who is crying. Do you know, Nutcracker?
I can't imagine. Let's go see who it is.
Can I come too? I just hate to see anybody unhappy.
Oh, please do come. You could make anyone happy.
And so, Clara and the Nutcracker Prince and the Russian soldier all went to the next room and politely knocked on the door. "Come in," said a very, very sad voice. As they stepped inside, they found themselves in a marvelous room that reminded Clara of a picture she had seen in her book of Arabian Nights. Desert sands covered the floor, and a sleepy-looking camel was standing beside swaying palm trees. Seated on a velvet cushion was the most beautiful Arabian princess, dressed in a flowing silken gown. She wore a white veil over her face, but Clara could still see the tears in her eyes.
Why are you crying? Oh, Arabian princess, don't you have everything you want? Everything your heart desires here in the Magic Kingdom?
Yes, everything except one thing. Dreams are only tears when you're lonely. Dreams were meant to be shared. Where, oh, where can he be? The prince who's meant for me. Will there come one wonderful someone? Dreams were meant to be shared. How I long for the day when he will come my way. When he'll find me, he will simply come and touch my hand and remind me by his presence we are in Wonderland. Where's the one who I long to run to? Dreams were meant to be shared. Where, oh, where can he be? The prince who's meant for me.
Sweet Arabian princess, I have fallen in love with you. You are so beautiful, you cannot be unhappy. I am only a poor Russian soldier, but everyone says I am a prince of a fellow. I will share your dreams with you, if you will let me. I will teach you to dance, and we will be forever happy.
Well, the princess was so overjoyed that all her tears vanished, and on her face there appeared a bright, sunny smile.
You are my prince, Russian soldier. My prince.
This calls for a celebration.
Yes, there must be a celebration. I know, an engagement party. Come, let's tell the Sugar Plum Fairy.
You don't have to tell me, Clara. I heard the whole thing. I always hoped the Arabian princess would find someone to share her dreams with, but I never thought of introducing her to the Russian soldier. Let the party bells ring. Everyone's invited to the celebration.
Let's make a feast, that's the least we can do. Make it grand and make it great. Now's the time to celebrate. Let's make a feast, that's the least we can do. Wear your spats and funny hats. Bring your friends with you. Let's have a happy acrobat, a juggler and a clown. Let's throw balloons up in the air and squash them when they come down. Oh, let's make a feast, that's the least we can do. Like a trick, let's do it quick, and it will come true.
Then the Sugar Plum Fairy waved her magic wand, and instantly, before their very eyes, the room was changed into the most majestic grand ballroom that Clara had ever seen. In the center of the room was a 100-foot-long banquet table filled with thousands of wonderful things to eat and decorated with beautiful flowers. Roses and gardenias and lilacs and orchids. Oh, every kind of flower that you could possibly imagine. Clara's eyes almost popped right out of her head as she clutched the Nutcracker's hand, and oh so tightly. Then the Sugar Plum Fairy announced in a very grand voice,
Ladies and gentlemen, be seated.
Beside each golden plate on the table was a place card with each guest's name engraved in peppermint lettering. How about that? Then in came the most graceful penguins, all dressed up like waiters, carrying the most delicious things to eat and drink. How everyone ate and laughed and just enjoyed themselves. The feast lasted for 3 whole hours. Oh, Clara felt as if she would just burst if she ate another little morsel. Then the head waiter, who was the largest penguin of all, went around to each guest and asked in the funniest voice, "Which will it be? Which will it be? Coffee, milk, or tea?" The Russian soldier spoke right up.
Make mine coffee. Just plain coffee. Good, strong, and black.
The Sugar Plum Fairy was very surprised.
What? Wouldn't you rather have something with it?
Then it was the Russian soldier's turn to look surprised.
Why should I have something with coffee? Ha 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 ha!
Because something crisp should go with coffee. Coffee by itself just doesn't taste right. Let your tongue not risk it. Better take a biscuit. Better take a cracker or some buttered toast to bite. Oh, something crisp should go with coffee. Do be careful how you treat your tummy. You'll be so much safer if you take a wafer. Won't you take a cookie as you would when drinking milk or tea?
The Russian soldier laughed and popped a cookie right into his mouth. Then, just at that point, the Sugar Plum Fairy stood up, and there was the crash of a loud gong.
Now comes a special surprise, the greatest surprise in the Magic Kingdom. Watch very closely. The flowers are about to dance.
See how the flowers dance, waltzing in time round the ballroom.
Each gardenia dancing with a rose, gently swaying while the music flows. Every gold chrysanthemum and geranium in full bloom.
See how the flowers dance, wonderfully gliding together.
Every tulip leads a violet, while the pink petunias pirouette. Daisies do a gentle jig with each little sprig of heather.
Now they're whirling and they're twirling. Oh, what magic they're unfurling. the saddles on their pedals. It's a marvelous sight. May they dance all night. And when the flowers dance, doesn't the world seem appealing?
Don't you hear the music of your heart? Don't you think it's time for you to start greeting everyone you know to that special glow you're feeling?
Like the pretty flowers in their sweet, gentle, peaceful bowers, why don't we all devote our hours to making other people happy too?
As the dance ended, the whole room seemed to slowly fade away and vanish. But the last words of the song echoed in Clara's ears. Why don't we all devote our hours to making other people happy? Then Clara said,
Yes, yes, I will. Only don't disappear. Please don't disappear.
but as Clara rubbed her eyes, she found herself in her own bed, in her own room, for it had all been a dream. But Clara thought it was the most beautiful dream that anyone could ever have.